what a day for the Miami Hurricanes. The U wakes up with Mark Richt at the helm, goes to bed with Manny Diaz as its head coach. We have now reached the final week of the high school football regular season. The stakes could not be higher as teams prepare for one last playoff push. The year is 2019. The Spice Girls are on tour 21 years later, and we literally have to warn people not to try the Bird Box Challenge. You see, in sports, we're so used to eras ending, dynasties crumbling, and legends falling. Until today, that was going to be how we told the story of Tiger Woods. Ricky Fowler says it's time to win. After shooting a 4-under 66 on Friday here at PGA National, he entered round 3 here just one shot off the lead. But as he said here yesterday, he's got to finish more events when he's in this position. Here with 2017 PGA Tour champion and 2018 Honda Classic winner Justin Thomas. And JT, you know exactly how difficult this course can be with the wind, the water, the elements. So what was the key here for you this week?
Just staying patient.
Antonio Jones-Davis says that he will have 50-plus friends and family members in these stands at FAU Stadium on Tuesday night. Now, Tim Tebow hasn't played baseball since the first term of the George W. Bush administration. However, as of this morning, he's an outfielder for the New York Mets organization. Just wrapped up the 2017 NFL Combine, where the top NFL draft prospects from across the country met in Indianapolis to undergo drills that measured their strength, speed, explosiveness, and IQ. But you know what? At the end of the day, it's really no different than what we do here at ESPN West Palm.
Boy, let's go!
How'd I do?
Don't quit your day job.
Well, it certainly looked like your everyday big league roster for the New York Mets. All the big names were there. Yoenis Cespedes, Jay Bruce, Noah Syndergaard was on the mound. That is until you got down to number 8 on the lineup. Tim Tebow getting the nod at designated hitter, making his Grapefruit League debut today. Let's go ahead and check out how he would fare. Tebow not sporting his usual number 15, instead wearing a nameless number 97 Mets jersey, but regardless, all eyes on the former Heisman Trophy winner. At his first at-bat, not a good one. He goes down looking after just 4 pitches. Not exactly pleased with that last strike call. Tebow looked a little more comfortable in at-bat number 2, making contact and putting the ball in play, but he would ground into a double play. The Mets did tack on a run on that play, though, so not all bad, but things didn't get any better for Tebow during at-bat number 3. He gets beamed in his right shoulder. No harm done, though. Tebow joked that he's used to taking hits throughout his career, of course referring to his past life as a football player. And his 4th and final at-bat, it didn't last very long. 3 pitches, as a matter of fact. Tebow gets caught looking at all of them, said he didn't like the first 2, thought they were a little bit inside. All in all, an 0 for 3 day, including 2 strikeouts and a hit by pitch. But if you thought he'd be hanging his head after the game, you better think again. Final round action at PGA National, and Tiger Woods in contention after shooting the best round of his most recent comeback tour on Saturday. The Big Cat looking for a top 10 finish, maybe even an epic final round charge. And early on, it looked like that just might be the case. Tiger sporting the traditional Sunday red and black. And on the very first hole, Woods looking at a 19-foot birdie, and he gets it to drop. He's 1 under on the day. And then at 4, T-Dub feeling it. Another birdie finds the bottom of the cup, and the Sunday charge is on. Tiger moves to 2 under. Now to number 8, Woods working that putter magic again, and just like that, Tiger is sitting at 3 under par. However, that momentum would come to a screeching halt. Here he is on 9, can't get the par putt to go. Tiger bogeys, he would fall to 2 under. Now Woods would shoot 2 over on the back 9, and he ends the round with a par on 18. Tiger ends the Honda Classic at even par with a 12th place finish, but happy to take part in the event for the first time in 4 years. Most people dream of going just to one Super Bowl, but one Boca Raton resident and 4 of his friends have been to every single one of them. But tonight in Minneapolis, that incredible streak comes to an end.
I think the first tickets were about $11 each.
A lot has changed since 1966. But for Harvey Rothenberg and 4 of his closest friends, one thing has always remained the same.
We're going to our 52nd game.
More than 5 decades ago, the Boca Raton resident and his friends decided to go to a little-known event in Los Angeles called the World Championship Game.
We were excited and we said, why don't we try to make this thing, go? We'll go as many times as we can and see how it goes.
The event went on to become the Super Bowl, while the quintet went on to become the Super Bowl V.
We wear this at the game.
Over the years, there's been matching jackets, rings, cufflinks, ties, even a horse.
We named it the Super Bowl V.
And recognition from the NFL.
And it's, congratulating us on going to 50 Super Bowls. And on the rear side of it is the score of all 50 games and who played in it.
The most exciting game, he says, a come-from-behind win for his beloved New York Giants over the then undefeated New England Patriots.
We won 17-14, so it's never over till it's over.
But it's the unbreakable bond that's lasted more than 5 decades that keeps the group coming back again and again and again.
It's the camaraderie that's more important now than the game itself. We feel good about each other. We're like brothers.
Rothenberg says the group has overcome financial struggles and deaths in the family until this year.
Al Schragus, the Prez.
An illness has them one man down for the first time ever. Part-time Palm Beach resident Al Schragus, who Rothenberg calls the leader of the group, is currently in hospice care, losing his battle with pneumonia.
We really can't communicate with him now. He's in intensive care and not speaking, but I know that he would want us to go.
So for better or worse, the tradition carries on.
As long as I'm 6 feet above ground. Most of us are in our 80s, and so I don't know how long it's going to last. We're going to try to keep it going for as long as we can go.
We're now less than a week away from the start of the FAU football season, and while the Owls' offense gets most of the attention, the team's identity this season may very well be on defense. The leader of that defense, Seminole Ridge product Jalen Young, and his identity is the number 18.
Throws towards the end zone. Intercepted! On the run, Jalen Young. Here he comes, bringing it out of the end zone.
There's so much that goes into a jersey number.
It's not even, I think about it, it's embedded in me.
But for safety Jalen Young,
It's tattooed on me in red ink.
the number 18 is everything.
The number 18 is Roman numerals on my arm.
But it was originally Jalen's younger brother, Antonio, who was set to wear the number.
He was so excited. Every day he would come in the house, Jalen, I'm wearing number 18. This is my jersey. This is what it's gonna look like. And it just so happens my stepfather was number 18 when he played for Troy University.
A number that took on a new meaning 4 years ago when Antonio, just 13 years old at the time, suffered a gunshot wound to the head that left him unable to play football.
My mom's calling me just crying. I'm like, what is she crying for? What's going on? I'm like, I just left you. She's crying. She's like, your brother, he's been shot.
On July 3rd, 2014, Antonio was shot in the head by a friend while they were playing with a pellet gun in the home across the street.
That night, I was just, because it was just on my mind all night, I'm like, I gotta do something, I gotta do something. And that night I called one of my teammates and was like, would it be okay if I switched number 18s to, if I switched 18 and you took 3? And he was like, yeah, and so that's why I wear that number and I wear it with pride.
The shooting, which was determined to be an accident, left Antonio dead at the scene.
When he got in the back of the ambulance truck, his heart just started beating back, and that's when they called the trauma hawks. But you know, when I getting to the hospital, they came out. They was like, listen, it'll be a miracle if your brother came out of this. It would have to be a sincerely miracle. But they was like, this is the place where miracle happens.
3 days later, Antonio underwent emergency surgery at St. Mary's Medical Center in West Palm Beach. 2 weeks after that, he woke up.
I saw him for the first time. You know, I saw him, his skull was, like this part was removed. So like, I'm just like, the first thing I do, I just cried. I just looked at him in the eyes and I just cried. And then he looked at me and he just told me, he was like, don't cry, it's gonna be all right. I was just happy to have my brother back. And not only back, but he woke up 100%. That was nothing but God.
A new lease on life for Antonio.
It just makes me feel like, you know, there's always someone looking. There's always someone there, you know. it's just really hard to just think back about.
The snap on 3rd and 1. They fake the handoff to Smith. Fine is hit in the backfield and dropped by Jalen Young.
And motivation both in the classroom and on the field for Jalen.
My brother's, he's my everything. He was gonna be better than me for sure. And you know, so I just feel like I'm living for him. I'm living through him. Once I touch that field, everything is for him.
Antonio, who goes by AJ, has fully recovered from that gunshot wound. And although he can no longer play football, he attends every home game and remains his brother's biggest fan.